Right. Yeah. Hey everybody, I'm Cheryl Swift, Duchess of Rock and Roll. I'm here today in sunny and lovely Nashville at the City Winery.
That's right.
Yes. I'm here with them vibes. Well, part of them vibes.
Hello.
A few of the vibes.
Yeah. The core.
The core of the vibes.
The nuclear
core. You want to take
core.
a minute and introduce yourselves?
I am Kyle Lewis, play guitar in them vibes.
I'm Brother Love. I sing and tell jokes.
I'm Alex's dad. I'm a song and dance band.
Song and dance.
I see myself more of a song and dance man.
Song and dance man. It's so true.
Yeah, it's true.
It's so true. I met these guys along with the rest of the band. It's been about, I don't know, 9 months.
About 9
9
months
ago. So my friend
birthed this relationship.
Yes, we birthed it
alive.
in a restaurant that my friend Quee owns. Shout out to you, Quee. We
Chef
love
Quee.
you,
Love you
Chef
so much.
Quee.
Yes. The man.
So my friend Quee owns My Lee and Noodle House, and I have known Quee since he was 15 years old.
Really?
Wow.
When my husband and I got married, we lived across the street from the first My Lee. So I've seen Quee grow up. And
awesome.
he us.
And he has grown. Yeah.
Become a
Yes, and
master.
now Quee he is a man. He was a mere boy bussing tables when I met him.
Let's talk about that instead of us.
Yeah, let's talk about Quee.
Seriously, yeah.
That guy's
Far more.
Man, he's writing songs these days. That'd be awesome.
You're right. If he starts writing songs, he really is one of the best men that I know, hardest working men that I know.
Absolutely.
So he had your friend and bandmate sometimes as her touring band, Maggie Rose. And so I went into the restaurant. Quee or Angela, his gal that does social media and stuff, they sent me a note. They're like, you have to meet this band and this gal. And I was like, well, I live like 30 seconds away. Of course I'm coming.
Picture right there. Oh.
It's okay. It's okay. We're really live here.
backstage.
We're backstage, so you never know.
So come in, say
Gotta get this shot. There you go. We're really live here. You never know who could walk in.
Well, we're playing a show with High South tonight at the City Winery.
Yes.
That there's the tour manager. Who
Hi
knows, who
there.
knows a lot when he sees a camera.
He
Absolutely.
does. He knows what to do. So we all met that day, and Maggie and you guys did this little acoustic set, and I was like, I'm sorry. How do I not know these human beings? And I fell in love with you instantly.
And how do we not know the Duchess of Rock and Roll?
Right, seriously.
Yeah.
I never throw myself into that equation.
But we heard that and we were like, wow, we really have to get
Right,
to
then
know
I was
you.
like, I love these guys, and now we've been friends for 9 months and came back to St. Louis and hung out. And the day it snowed, so the tour that night got, our interview, the show, everything but lunch got canceled, which was one of the best lunches I've had
It
in
was phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Because some of their family, whose family is it that lives in
That was
St. Louis?
mine.
Oh, that's your family.
They've known, my aunt and uncle know Chef Quee since he started out.
So we had this great meal, and while we were sitting there, all of our phones started going off that there was this snowstorm coming.
That's right.
So the gig got canceled. They got on the road. How many hours were you in the van?
We were supposed to do about an hour and a half to 2 hour drive, and it took us about 8 hours.
Yeah, Maggie texted me at like 10. She's like, we just got here. I'm like, wait, to Rolla?
I haven't seen snow like that in forever.
Yeah.
It was
like
a
foot of
treacherous,
snow in like
right,
2 hours.
right.
Frankly, I don't ever want to see it again.
I don't either. I only
So,
lived 20
good,
minutes
good.
from the restaurant and barely made it home, and I thought,
Well,
they're not
luckily-
getting to Rolla.
Our song and dance band here is a hell of a driver.
Were you driving,
Alex
Alex?
drives the bus.
Yeah.
Harrowing. It was harrowing.
Aren't you glad I got you Thai coffee at the end of that meal?
Oh, absolutely. The Thai coffee really did me.
It
That
really
was
saved you. I mean,
delicious.
because
Great suggestion.
I know Quee's menu, and
That was so
one
good.
time he made me a bucket of it about this big, and I didn't sleep for 2 days. And I said, Quee, don't ever give me the gallon to go. Anyway,
You know, and I have a theory too, where like, you know, if we say had like Burger King or something, we would have veered off the side of the road and that would have been the end of it.
right? Because you wouldn't have been well
What
nourished
kept us
in
sturdy
your
in
soul.
Constitution was Quee.
Yes, it's always Quee.
Saved our lives. Thank you,
Yeah.
Quee.
Thank you, Quee. So we met then, and then this week I came to town, and I finally got to see. Well, actually, no, you were in St.
We
Listen,
did
my
the
life
redo.
is.
We did the
redo show on Friday
At
night.
the old Rock
Yeah.
House.
And your schedule was crazy because you come in hot. You can tell people what that means. When I say people are coming in hot, they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Is that a
High
music?"
or hot?
Hot.
Oh,
You
both.
might have been high, but
Yeah.
you came in hot. You came in that day right before soundcheck.
Oh yeah, we just roll. Well, that's because we get on the road very early every morning, and we just roll right in. We set up, do the sound check, have a little bite to eat, have a little something to drink, and change our clothes and hit the stage.
Right. So they said, we could do the interview. And I said, well, I'm coming to Nashville. And they were like, yes, that is what we want. So here we are. We're in Nashville. I don't even know what day it is. Doesn't even matter.
It doesn't.
In the rock and roll world, really, there are no weekends in my mind, in my world. People are, when I was interviewing someone Monday and I said, well, it's Thursday. And he's like, honey, it's Monday. And I was like, no, it's not. I forget where I'm at, what day it is. I'm sure for you guys.
Absolutely.
It's just one long Saturday, you know.
Right, your whole life is like,
Don't you
Saturday.
go writing
Every
songs
night.
now. You writing songs.
And so tonight the guys are playing, I believe this is a charity gig tonight here at City
I
Winery.
believe it is.
Yes.
And so,
Yes,
yes, it is.
Yeah.
Once
The
again, we don't
answer
know
is
what
yes.
day it is, but we know
It might
it's,
be a Thursday, maybe, is it Wednesday?
it's Wednesday.
Oh, see,
is Wednesday.
I don't
Yeah,
even
That's
know.
tomorrow we'll be in South Carolina
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Well, this won't air for probably a week and a half,
No,
so
so then
all
you
this
will have
is
been done now.
totally
Been
this,
done.
this will be done. So let's talk about how Them Vibes became Them Vibes.
Alex and I, we moved from New York City. We were in a band, separate, a totally other entity. We were in a country band. I was the drummer. He was the guitar player. The band did the dance. You know, as far as touring, label, dropped. You know, band breaks up. But Alex and I always had a special bond. He and I were living together. We were always writing songs,
Right.
and we just picked up where that band it ended. And we were like, well, I guess we'll write some songs. We ended up having a record that we wanted to record. We had our buddy Frank Gagliardi, who was our bass player in our old band, who's like, man, I can record these songs. So we set up in our house in East Nashville, and we recorded the record called Shine On.
Okay, and that's your first album released as Them Vibes.
Yep.
And we
Okay.
had a song called Lorelei that hit the radio, and it did fairly well, and we were just really stoked. And we, not far after that, we found this guy. I was working at
The Kyle.
The Kyle.
The Kyle.
No way.
The Kyle.
I was working at a very famous place called Santa's Pub,
Yes.
and a
World
buddy,
famous dive.
and a
Yeah.
buddy used to come.
That
in.
is a very
Yeah.
famous dive.
Yeah.
And a buddy named Benjamin Olsen would come in, and I, he would drink beers and we'd chat. And I was like, man, we're looking for a guitar player. He goes, I got the guy for you, Kyle Lewis.
Kyle Lewis, baby.
Oh, yeah, there it was. Yeah.
Thanks again, Ben. By the way.
And so,
Ben had a good idea at the pub.
yeah, we
Yeah.
toured. We put out an EP. That was our second thing. We went to Europe. We toured and did like a sold out tour in Europe in 2016. And we had just been building this following here in the States as well. The three of us write together.
Okay.
We put out our third record in 2017 called Electric Fever. And we've had really, phenomenal fun with that. The song Electric Fever, Who Do You Love, all on the radio and stuff. And now, fast forward to like more recently, we've been touring with Maggie Rose, who's an artist that we've been writing songs with. Most of her latest record, Alex and I contributed the songwriting to. And then we decided that, wow, this works so well.
Yes.
So Them Vibes can open the show, and then Them Vibes can be the backup band for Maggie, and it's just been perfect.
Right.
We've been on the road for many months. I mean, pretty much
Many months since I've known them.
So, yeah. And
Yeah.
almost close to a year now. Yeah.
Yes, and the thing I loved about finally getting to see it live, one of the things I try to do with artists is I like to see them live first. Like people like want to interview my guy, and I'm like, well, I'd like to see him play music,
Yeah.
because I like to be surprised by openers. A lot of my friends now and people I follow were openers that nobody but me was paying attention to, which, by the way, people in the world, please come listen to the openers and don't talk through them. That's my PSA for today. But,
And stick around for the closers.
and stick around for the closers.
As that would
tip
be
your
us tonight.
bartenders.
Yeah.
And tip your bartenders and the band, please. Or buy merch, for God's sake. Don't stream everything. So I love the synergy and the energy that you all bring together on stage, both as Them Vibes and with Maggie Rose and your being the backing band. There's connectiveness between all of you, and it shows, and it's fun, and it's not. How sometimes you see bands and you're like, those two don't get along. There's none of that when y'all are on stage or hanging out or having dinner, because I've broken bread with you and been to the show. And what's that like for you to be in a band with another artist coming in and having that kind of synergy? Like, what's that like for you guys, Kyle? Like, what's that like for you?
I don't know. I've been telling people, like, even if we were on the road, we'd still be hanging out. You know what I mean?
Right, like you're
Even at
friends,
home.
like real
Absolutely.
friends.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, and I mean, Maggie's a dear friend to all of us, and so I mean, when they say family band, I mean, it's truly that. I mean, we'd be playing together anyway,
Right.
doing whatever. So it's really no different that we're on the road.
Right.
We're
Right.
just moving the party from one place to another at this point.
Right.
We just realized how lucky we are, because it's like it's very rare when you can like travel with 8 people in a van and
that's very true.
get
yeah.
along day and night.
Right,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it isn't always like that. You can start to see when it'll splinter a little.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I also pay a lot of attention, and I notice seeing some of the people like, what are you talking about? I'm like, just little things like on stage or or somebody showing someone up. And you guys, even the guys, like I have this awesome photo. I think it's of you two the other night. Like you got him in like a stranglehold.
Yeah. It's just very
and then Maggie's up against
I was all
you.
blue and stuff.
Yeah, and then
We work on our karate moves.
Yes.
Hold.
I was like, please don't drop the ginger guy to the floor.
You have to figure
Tom,
out.
is his
It's up to
name
you.
Tom?
Yeah. You have to figure out the safe word. That's all.
Yeah. I was like, oh, somebody's going down. Like I was like laughing. I was like, please don't let anybody hit the floor. And then tall Justin back there, just holding it down on the bass and everything, and the drummer, who happens to be someone special to you.
That's my wife.
That's
Sarah
your
Tillman.
wife.
Yep, she's in New Orleans right now, making a record with another artist.
Yes.
So she's out on doing that, and so we have our other cats that we love playing with us tonight called Rude Music. Please check them out.
Okay.
Matt and Kevin Nolan, they're the Nolan brothers, and they're just phenomenal musicians.
Phenoms, yeah.
And they are family.
So they're playing tonight,
They're
where
playing
your
tonight.
wife would have been doing the drums.
and then bass. Kevin will be playing bass where Justin would have been playing bass. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we're very fortunate. We have a band that we tour with Maggie. Excuse me, but we also have our little unit as well with Rude Music, which we love and we adore doing. So we're just so lucky. It's like if somebody can't do it, another great
Right,
friend.
and you're lucky in that way because in this town, it's not always that way.
Right. Yeah.
And I love a lot of my bands and friends, like, oh, it's somebody's honeymoon or somebody's getting married or, like Justin just got engaged.
Right.
But you all got to be there.
Right.
That's so beautiful to me that you are that kind of friends, that you get to both celebrate life and be in the band.
That's right.
It doesn't always go that way.
Now, what do they say? Like the hang is 90%. Like you can have great songs and you can have a great show and all that. But if you don't get along, and we are in a small 10-seater kind of bus with all the gear in the back.
I wondered how you guys, because
We
I
travel
always see you
with
in
10 people, so that's
the
the
JCCA van
Yeah,
when you're in
that's
St.
right.
Louis.
That's
AKA
the Holy Roller.
the bus.
But that's not what you drive up.
You'll
What
know.
do you drive up in a tiny van and then use the JCCA bus when you're here
No.
in St. Louis? I mean,
The bus is where we tour everywhere. When
that bus I see you pull up to lunch in,
Yeah.
That's
the church bus.
Yeah, the Holy Roller.
Holy road.
Yeah,
That's right. It's ordained.
That's our
I
bus.
thought you rented that when you were in St. Louis.
Oh, it's kosher.
It's kosher. We bought it here. We bought it here on the west side.
Mazel tov.
Thank
Still smells like kasha. It's wonderful.
Shabbat shalom. Wrong day. That's so. I totally thought that was what you used when you were in St. Louis.
That's our bus.
I guess I just never asked that question because
Things been
you
everywhere.
were jumping in and out of it, trying to get out of the snow the last time I saw you.
That's
Oh,
right.
that's so funny.
That's right. Yeah.
I just didn't know.
No, it was meant to
We
be.
got to get you guys a bigger rig so you can like take a nap that's not like this, like
Yeah.
on each
Well,
other's.
again, we love each other. So,
Yeah.
Well, I guess you have to,
Yeah.
because
You really
otherwise
do,
you
yeah.
couldn't take a nap on that van.
Yeah.
So the last album, you've had 3 albums together. I did 4, but I meant 3 albums together. And you've been touring on this last album.
We've been touring on the last album. We've also been touring in connection with Maggie's record, Change the Whole Thing.
Yes, which is also phenomenal, by the way.
Yeah. Thank you.
And
very
what we
much.
have been really touring on is our latest single, which is Right On. So.
Yeah, which is, it's a catchy good tune.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
So much.
yeah.
We
It's
just-
like this 70s fun, like, it just makes me happy.
Thank you.
Like, I want to get a lava lamp and,
You gotta do it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
some incense.
Yeah.
You know?
well, no incense
Come
for
on.
me, but
Okay.
something.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Well,
yeah.
light some.
Yeah.
Something. That's all I'm saying.
We've been so we tracked a bunch of new tunes, and Right On was something that we were really excited to put out. We actually put out a song called Nothing's Better Than You. It'll all end up on either an EP or a full length LP later on this
Right.
year. And then we have Maggie. We play with Maggie, and then Maggie plays with us. She sang on Electric Fever. She sang on Right On, and that
Yes.
was a collaborative thing. We were like, let's just do this together, which we had never really done. It's like it's them vibes and Maggie Rose. The song is called Right On that us 3 wrote.
And
she
you got to hear
destroyed
this
it.
song.
She hit it out of the park with her vocals, as she does every time.
Right.
And we closed every show with it. We closed the whole night with it, and it's been really cool. We played arena.
Right.
We played
So,
arenas.
yeah, the arena is opening
You know.
for Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah, which was
Closing the night with
Yeah,
her.
I was going to ask Maggie that, but I'll ask you, what was that like? I mean, you've all probably played bigger arenas and stadiums and things
We played
before.
some arenas for
But
sure.
That was
what
actually
was-
my first.
Was it
Yeah,
really?
Yeah. It was crazy,
Wow.
man.
What was that like?
Yeah, playing in front of a lot of people, it's all right. you
It's
know?
okay.
You'd rather just kind of be at home playing in front of your mom or something, really. You know. It's true. It was amazing.
But you know what broke the monotony was I'm just kidding on that was just Kelly's just incredible.
She seems like a cool lady. I've never met her, but she seems like a good human being.
You forget first off like how many hits she has, and like when you see the show, like on top of that, she has her own family band as well. Like Kyle Whalum played bass on the track Right On.
Okay.
He also played on Change the Whole Thing. He's her guy. Okay.
Oh.
You know, and so like, and I knew the horn player from back in the day, and like everyone's just so sweet, humble, and they all just kick major ass. So it was just incredible to be a part of.
And it was such a different, obviously she came from sort of a country world.
Right.
And now she's obviously has a career where she's crossed over, and she's just a mesmerizing, performer and singer. And for us, it was like, wow, how are the fans going to react to, Maggie Rose and that vibes? And they ate it up. They just had such a blast. And she's wonderful. She had Maggie come up and sing with her, and
see that I have chill bumps.
And that was like we were all crying, tears were pouring down our eyes to see
I've had a few
our
of those.
sister.
They're coming down the catwalk.
Yeah, I've had a few of those moments.
It was major.
Like when Cody Jinks played with Chris Christopherson, and then he called Ward out and they did Bobby McGee. I just burst into tears. Like I was watching him in dive bars 2 years ago.
Right.
It's those moments where,
totally.
and like you get someone like Kelly who seems completely authentic and genuine.
She is.
And then I know how good you guys are, and then you see something good like that happen, and then there's 20,000 people in the arena, and then that's all that more exposure for you.
It was actually pretty funny because when we rolled up, speaking of the bus, so
The real bus?
yeah, so rolling up to the first arena show in Allentown, Pennsylvania, we roll up in the bus, and so like it's kind of like a clown car in a way, because like just like 8 people start piling on.
They got all these tour buses and semi trucks.
Right, there's like the whole rig outside, like you're in the clown bus.
So they're unloading our van, we're getting out, we're groggy as all get out, you know what I mean? Get
People
on
looking at
stage.
us like, how many people are coming out of this thing? You know,
They don't really know us, you know what I mean? So like when we get up, they're like, what did we just get ourselves into, you know?
Right, they're like,
Thinking
who
of
are
it as,
these
like, you know,
people?
minor
opening
league
band,
stuff.
you know, like,
and then by the end of our little run, they were really appreciative. They were like, "Wow, we'd love to have you back anytime.
Yeah.
We wish you guys could
Oh,
be on
that's
more of this
phenomenal.
stuff." Which was not any slight to any other artists. They were just
Right.
really just genuinely like, we really enjoyed working with you
Right,
guys.
and when it clicks in this world.
Yeah.
Because there's people who I know that I'll never speak to again, and then I'm like, well, you guys are going to be my friends. I knew that from the minute I met you and we hung out, and I love it when tours go like that, because when you look at the world of music, it's not as big as people think.
No, you end up knowing a lot more people.
Yes.
And you're like, oh yeah, I remember. And then you cross paths, and it's funny, like just now and then being home in Nashville, you run into somebody like, you look familiar.
I know you. I said that.
We were just
We were just with you, right?
Last week. Yeah.
I saw someone the other night, and I was like, do I know you? Like, there's a lot of famous people. I was at Jason Eskrich's 5-Spot Soul night.
Oh yeah.
And Lucy Silvas was singing, and her husband was there, and then Anderson East walked in, and then there was a couple guys who I know, but I didn't know who. I know them from the music world, but then I'm like, hi, I don't want to be like, are you that guy? Like, because they're out just having a good time on a Sunday night. Yeah. But here, you never know who you're going to run into. It's kind of like in LA. Yeah. You just never know who's going to walk on Melrose.
Except here, everybody's like very cool about it. Nobody's
No,
trying
in
to get
LA
something
they're
from
pretty
you.
cool.
Are they? Yeah.
I mean, when I was there, but I was in the studio, so it might have been a different experience because I was.
Every time I'm in LA, somebody's trying to get something.
I'm trying to be cool there with famous people standing
here's
next
my
to me.
card. I'm like, I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's kind
I
of
don't
a
know who
little
you
bit
are.
of
You don't know who I am. Why am I taking your card? Save your card. These things cost money.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that schmoozy thing there. We're in New York. They're like.
See, I get that.
No, there's schmooze everywhere. It's just, a little less silicone, and that's about it.
Yeah, here, it's a little different here. It's
Although
a little different
we had
here.
a blast in LA. We played the Hotel Cafe 2 weeks ago, and that was
nice.
like.
And you played Napa the day.
Oakland. We were in Oakland at
Venice Beach.
Yeah,
down in LA.
That's right, Venice Beach.
What's the place?
wow.
It's great.
Oh, the new parish.
The new parish in Oakland.
Yeah.
Man, that was
cool.
Yeah.
No, California, we love California.
Oh man,
very, very
me
good
too.
to us.
I like California. I like to go and come home. I like New York. I like to go and come home.
Yeah, that's
I'm
my
here every couple weeks.
Yeah.
But I love well, that's just it. I got to fly to those places. I could be here in 5 hours,
There you go.
But I love them both because I can turn into a Californian really quickly, and a New Yorker is easy for me.
You're a comedian.
I just
blonde, brunette,
blonde, brunette. Exactly.
Right?
See, my hair is indecisive right now.
Because
I'm
you're in the middle. That's right.
I just put
You're
on
in Middle
New York. I
Tennessee.
just put on black and dark glasses, and
Boom.
And in LA, I just put on maybe a color.
Yeah.
I put on a scarf. I wore a
You're good
scarf
to
in
go.
LA,
Yeah.
See?
and I was like,
They're like, are you from Ventura Boulevard? You're like, no, I get that all the time.
Yeah.
but I did when the last time I was in LA with the band. Nikki Sixx walked out of a shop on Melrose, and I was like, "What's up, Nikki?" And he goes, "What's up?" And then he says, "There's a guy. How do we know her?" Because I just kept walking because
Right.
I didn't want to be.
Right,
yeah.
I didn't want to fangirl.
Right.
I just kept walking, and that's my Motley Crue brush with fame.
There you go.
There you go.
I was like, "What's up?" I did the.
You should have been like,
You should have been like, your son says hello.
yeah. I was gonna say you should have been like 88. 88 before him.
Troubadour.
Yeah. You got a son, Jack. Gotcha.
I know you don't remember me, but here's Ethan.
Yep.
Oh my God, that would have been funny. Oh my God, I didn't expect this.
It's funny because it's possibly true.
It's possible too. Call him Nicky 7.
Nikki 7.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. But yeah, it is a different world in both of them. But when you're in the music world, I just try to stay calm when I'm there.
Yeah.
Because you never know, like, who's going to, just like the other night. Last night I was at a thing here, and Tanya Tucker walked in and Randy Houser walked in, and I was like, I cannot believe this is happening.
Kyle had his first night playing at the Opry last
True.
night.
Yeah.
did.
Oh,
The
that's
first
right.
Opry, yeah.
With Maggie.
Amazing.
And,
So
Which
great.
I would have been
Sold
there
out.
if all my friends weren't at the other show.
I get
Sorry.
it. Yeah, no, all good. It's an amazing sold out show. You know, I'm really spoiled. That was my first time. All kinds of.
And you guys have
celebrities
played the
hanging
Opry
out.
before?
Couple times.
Yes.
Yeah, times. Which is cool. Really cool.
What
What do you got to
whirlwind,
hang
you
out
know?
with? Go for it.
Oh yeah. Well, shoot. Dale Watson was there, you know, and that's a big one for
See,
me.
look, I have goosebumps again because
Yeah.
that's like, he's like a hero.
It's a small world because my dad's a musician. He's a phenomenal bass player, and he was actually in LA for a long time. And he played with Dale in the late '80s and early '90s, you know. And it
No way.
Yeah, so I was really looking forward to meeting Dale, and he was just like the coolest, nicest dude. And I'm like telling him the story of this, like, man, my dad played with you out in LA in the '80s, and before I could say his name, he's just like studying me, he's looking me up and down. And before I was like, Rod Lewis is his name. He's like, yeah, I know, you look just like him. It was so cool.
It's just a
It was
moment of
I
just
was just
like-
like, whoa, you know, like.
That's pretty great.
He's got it together. He's like looking real good. dressed
He
real
does
sharp.
look sharp.
Yeah,
he's a
The
sharp
last two
dude.
times he was in St. Louis, I couldn't go. And he's one of those people that I've not seen live. I know all about him, but I've never, sometimes every day is a choice for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like every day where I have to go or be or who I want to meet or try to interview. And I wish I could go to all the shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to do that.
Well, he's gonna be close to. He's got a lot of things happening in Memphis right now. Is what he said. He's like
Oh.
reopening a club out there. Yeah,
That's very close to you.
Hey, yeah, that's 5
Memphis ain't
hours.
too far,
I
yeah.
like that 5 hour I can
Yeah.
get in the car and go and be there this afternoon. So what was that like being up on the Grand Ole Opry stage?
It was
It's
really
hallowed
awesome.
ground.
Like, it was pretty surreal. I wasn't nervous about all the people. It was a sold out night. But what made me nervous, I'm walking out, and then all of a sudden I look to the wing. There's Vince Gill just sitting there. I was not expecting that at all. He's sitting basically right next to me the entire time we're playing, just in the wing.
I would have been like,
Oh my
no,
God.
that's like that. I would have
Yeah.
that leaves me
Just-
starstruck. He's like, he's
Well, he's
Vince
such a
Gill.
phenomenal player. My amp is
Oh.
just facing him, and I'm like, great.
What I really didn't want was this analysis. I would have a really
It was
hard
cool.
time.
But everyone was so warm and welcoming. The whole band they're just the coolest, nicest guys, phenomenal musicians,
And girls.
and girls, yeah, absolutely. And Maggie gave me like an intro. She's like, "This is Kyle. This is his first time playing here," and people were just cheering, and it was just such a cool,
That's
warm and
phenomenal.
welcoming experience. Something
I'm
that'll stay
so
with me
happy
forever.
for
yeah,
you.
So, yeah, it was
Yes.
cool.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
A lot of firsts for me.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Arenas, Opry, and
I've only been to the Opry itself once. I've been to the Ryman many times now because Cody Jinks, who I adore, Blackberry Smoke. I've come down for their big debut shows, and seeing your friends on the Ryman stage is for me.
right.
I mean, I don't know what could be better.
That's the next one for us.
Yes.
That's the next,
That's
like,
always been bucket
really-
list. Yeah, like
Yeah,
playing the Ryman.
the night I went to the Opry, actually, one of the members had died. Not Little Jimmy Dickens. He died after I had been there, but I think it was Alabama or the Oak Ridge Boys. One of the two came out and did a gospel song in honor of him, and I thought, this is a once in a lifetime. Every night there is a once in a lifetime phenomenon.
Yeah.
And I was sobbing It was, it's a very special spiritual place, and the Ryman too for me. Yeah. The Ryman, I just get chills every time.
Yeah. That's the old church. Yeah.
So, well, congratulations. That's so phenomenal to get to play there.
I'm still kind of riding that high right now. I'm just like,
well, yeah, it's only been like 12.
What, yeah, that really
it's only been like 15 hours. Yeah, really you can ride that for a few days. So tonight playing here at City Winery. Then you're continuing the tour starting tomorrow.
Yep, we'll be in South Carolina. We'll be in Bluffton, South Carolina. Then Hilton Head, South Carolina. And then I believe when this comes out, around the time that this comes out, we're going to be in Florida. Ooh. We have a few shows. We have the Roscaloosa Music Festival.
April 27th.
That's correct.
I know that one.
That's the one, right?
I better.
That's the one too.
That's the one too.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's going to be a real exciting festival. And then the same weekend, we're going to be backing up. Bill Murray has a Caddyshack golf tournament. So we're going to be backing up Bill Murray to some extent, where he's going to be singing some songs.
He loves music.
Yeah,
he's singing.
He's going to be singing, and so we're going to be the backup band. That's
I have envy.
We have to learn some songs. So.
I have envy.
Yeah.
Just so you
no idea what he's going to call.
Star Wars, nothing. Yeah. Star Wars. That's what I'm hoping he does. Right. Yeah, right. That's all I
know that one.
Yeah.
My friends post videos. He loves Stapleton.
Yeah.
So he's always popping up at Stapleton shows, and he just stands up and doesn't matter that he's filming. He's just doing his loving of the of the music. That's how I look. I'm sure when I'm out in front of Cody Jinks or Blackberry Smoke or Stapleton, just losing it. I'm hoping no one's Snapchatting me. Look at this crazy woman losing her mind.
I know, because he's been a Steel Drivers fan for a long time, so that's where
he came. Right, he's loved him from back what other people don't even know what Chris did before.
Was cool,
They're like, this guy is an overnight success. I'm like, about 20 years in.
Right, sure.
I'm like, there's a whole other career that no one talks about. That's how people see things these days. Is they think it's overnight success, or someone goes on Idol or The Voice and they're an overnight success, but there's 20 years, or these young kids, 10 years of playing at the mall, or you've all had careers before them vibes. You've been through these things. Yeah. And I always want to say to people, just a little bit of research, you can know what's really.
You can know a lot of dirty things.
Yes, that interweb, it tells you things.
It tells you stuff.
It tells you stuff. Yeah. Sometimes I Google stuff and I'm like, man, I really wish I didn't know that. I want to put it back into the interweb. There needs to be like a retraction web.
Yeah, I know.
That's so Big Brother, though. That's so Big Brother. I just went right down the hole, down the rabbit hole, But so you'll be on the tour, and now is there new music in the works?
Yeah, we're gonna get back in the studio. We have some new stuff that we already tracked, them vibes that we have yet to put out, and we're dying to get back in and record some new stuff. We're also gonna go back and do some new Maggie Rose stuff, because we wrote a bunch of songs with Maggie. So that's getting ready to happen, and then it's basically trying to just be home enough to get in the studio.
Right,
to do those
when
things.
You're on tour.
And so we're basically there's a few holes in the schedule tour-wise. We'll get back in and cut some tracks, go back out on the road, and just continue this thing, because the motion has been wonderful.
Right.
For us to be out there on the road all across the country, East Coast to West Coast, up and down, that means north and south. It's just been, it affords us the ability to keep on touring, because every time we go back, we're playing cooler clubs. We're playing
you're stepping it up. You go from the 100 to the 300 to 500 to and then you just keep
So having new music with that will just be awesome, especially because we're artists and writers, and we just want to
we just want to play our music, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I know that your schedule's been crazy.
Thank you.
And I was so glad I was coming to town this week to give you all a break the other day, because when it's rushed, it's never quite as laid back or as flowing. When I've had managers stand and tap, they're watching me, and I'm like, oh yeah, please don't do that. I'll do it next time. Please don't tap.
Yeah.
I'm not your student. I'm not in class, Mrs.
Nobody
Jones.
Taps
Nobody taps at the Duchess.
Right.
I'm like, don't do that to me. I made time and left my family to come interview you. Don't tell me. Don't do that to me. Anyway, so tell the people where they can find your music.
There's a thing called the interwebs. Themvibes.com, Them Vibes on the Facebook, Them Vibes Twitter, Them_Vibes is our Instagram, and our YouTube channel, Them Vibes. We have a brand new video out called Right On. It's Them Vibes and Maggie Rose We think you're really going to like it.
And if you want, just go to themvibes.com. It has all the links. So.
Yeah.
All the links.
Spotify.
One stop.
And then check out Roscoe Lusa, April 27th.
That's
Are there
right.
still
That's the
tickets
one.
available for that?
There are, yes.
There are. So you can go online
They're going
and
fast.
Google that.
Yeah.
And then you can look at Maggie Rose's page,
Yep.
who they, of course, tour with and love, as do I.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thanks
I'm
and
Cheryl
praises.
Swift, Duchess of Rock and Roll. This is part of Them Vibes, and we wish you all peace, love, and rock and roll.
That's it.